Okay, before we begin, you need to know a few things. Number one, 59 with a decimal at the end of it is the same as 59. And the best way to write it is like this, correct? Look at the number 6.23. That's 6 and 23 hundredths. If I say, hey, move that decimal to the right 2 places, hopefully you would go like this. 1 place, 2 place, right? And then you would write that down. 6, 2, 3 with a decimal at the end, right? No. You simply, when the decimal's at the end, you just get rid of it. Anytime you see a problem with a decimal as the divisor, 4.2, bad. You can't do it. You can't do it. You got to do something else. So what you can do is you can just tell yourself, look, self, there's a decimal in there. I am not used to dividing with decimals in my divisors. I remember learning how to put a decimal in my dividend and putting it up here like that, but I do not know how to do that with a decimal in the divisor. Well, guess what? Good news. You're not going to have to. So what you do is you go like this. Hey, 4.2, I got to get rid of you. Where can I put you so that you're gone? Well, if I put you at the end, isn't that like getting rid of you? Like up here, do you remember this? If I put you at the end, it's just like I can get rid of you. Okay, how many places did I have to move you to get rid of you? 1. So now I have 42. But wait, how many places do you think I have to move this guy? Well, if you move the guy on the outside 1 place, you got to move the guy on the inside 1 place. So it is now going to be here. So you rewrite the problem as that. Now, look, you know how to do that kind of problem we learned. So what do you do with the decimal point? And then you just divide. And lastly, I know you know this, but it's worth repeating. Always check your long division with the big G technique. Remember, you get the quotient, I'll put Q, times the divisor, divisor, plus any remainder. It had better equal the dividend. Step 1, there's the problem. Rewrite it. 4.4 is the divisor. Take your time. Into 32 and 5/10. Do you know what the next step is? Great. The next step is to say, there's no way in the world I'm going to divide with a decimal divisor, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And how do we get rid of it? We move it 1 place to the right, because when it's 1 place to the right, we can get rid of it. So now we have just 44 on the outside. But whatever you do on the outside, you better do to the inside. You move this guy 1, you're going to move this guy 1. Hey, it's at the end. The decimal's at the end. It goes bye-bye. Here we go. 1.9 divided by 3.4. Don't fall into the trap. A lot of people put the larger number inside all the time, but it is not the case this time. It says divided by the larger number. So there we go. Write it down. 1.9 divided by 3.4. And say, oops, I see a decimal on the outside. Bad. So what do? You move them to the end, right? Then you rewrite it. You just say you're just 34. But the inside is also in need of some help. Move it 1 place to the right. There you go. You got 19. That's our new problem. All right, 16 and 6/10 divided by 0 and 24 hundredths. Let's write it down first. So which one goes on the outside? 0.24 or 24 hundredths. Write it down like this first. Now I'll put 16 and 6/10 on the inside. And then stop and say, whoa, can't do that. That's no, illegal. So what do you got to do? You got to move him to the end. How many places? That's 2 places to get it to the end. Now we can just put 24 here, right? Okay, now what we did to the outside number, the divisor, we have to do to the dividend. Okay, there's 1 place. Uh-oh, what do we do? What do we do? That's only 1 place. We got to go 2. Let's make another little loop-de-loop. There's where it would go, right? And you would put a 0 there, correct? So now we have 1, 6, 6, 0. And because the decimal's at the end, we don't need it, right? There we go. 0.06 divided by 2.4. So the divisor is 2.4. I think I'll start with that guy right here. 2.4. And then 0.06. Okay, don't skip this step. Write it down. A lot of people just like to do it in their head. Okay, here we go. We have a decimal out here. That's not good. So let's get it at the end here. Now it's gone. So now we just have 24. Now you got to rewrite the problem like that. Please don't skip steps. Since I moved it one place to the right on the divisor, I have to do the same to this guy. So that's the new place for the decimal. So I come out to here, and this is correct. You're probably thinking, what? 2 zeros in a row, then a 6. Yep, it's correct. My decimal point. Now listen, I'm going to make my decimal point white because I want to make sure you remember you got to put it up there, don't you? All right, give me 1 second here. Pause. If you sing the song, you cannot go wrong. Just step by step. Divide 24 into 0. Well, we didn't start our song yet. That doesn't work. What is 24 into 0, 0? No, nothing. What is 24 into 0, 0, 6? Nothing. What can we do? My goodness, this can't be done, can it? Yeah, sure can. We can always append a 0 to the end, can't we? To decimal number, 0. Okay, so what's 24 into 0, 0.60? Oh, it's like 24 into 60. Well, we know what that is. That's 2. So divide, put your answer up. Let me do that in a different color. We'll do it in red. Multiply, put your answer down. 48. Subtract. Subtract, put your answer down. Hopefully you know that that's just 12. And then bring another number down. But there isn't one. But you get to put one down. So let's put another number down. Another one is 0. And there's our little arrow, right? Good. So 120. Let's just start over. How many 24s are in 120? I'm going to say, I don't know. Well, I know that 6 times 24 is, whoa, that's way too much. How about 5? Come off to the side here. 5 times 24. Hey, going to use the distributive property just for fun. 5 times that is 20. That's 100. And then 5 times the 4 is 20. 120. Oh my gosh, it worked out perfectly. Divide, put your answer up. Multiply, put your answer down. Subtract, put your answer down. And you're done. There's nothing left. That's it. So your answer is 0.025. And you're probably thinking to yourself, do I have to have 2 zeros in front of there? No, you don't. Now it's time to check our work using the big G strategy. It goes like this, the letter G. So the quotient times the divisor plus any remainder had better equal the dividend. So your G. And if it doesn't, you got it wrong. So let's get rid of all that stuff here. Here we go. So where's my quotient? At the very top up there. So I got 0.025. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, do I really need 2 zeros in front of a decimal? Well, for now, let's just stick it in there. Just leave it like that. I don't want to change anything. Okay, times 24. That's right, when we're multiplying numbers, even when they have decimals in there, you line everything up on the right. Okay, so here we go. 5 times 4 is 20. I better different color out here. We go 20. So I put a 2 here, a 0. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. There's 1, there's a 0. 4 times 0 is 0, and I need a 1 there. Sorry about that. 0 and 0. Now, I forgot to do something. Do you know what I forgot to do? I bet you do. Remember, when you're multiplying decimal numbers, it's always good to start out by counting the number of decimal places there are in both factors. Remember, that's a factor and that's a factor. How many do they have in all? Well, the first guy has 3. This one has 3, and this one has none. So a total of 3 decimal places need to be in your answer. And as I told you before, I like to write it down here and make it really stinking conspicuous so I can't forget about it. All right, so next step. Okay, erase, add smiley face. There we go. Now we have 2 times that stuff. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 0, 2 times 0, and 2 times 0. All right, so here we go. You're probably thinking, do we really have to have all the zeros? For now, just do it this way. You'll be an expert soon enough. Let's take one step at a time. So I need to have 3 decimal places, right? There's my answer. So where am I going to put... If I put it here, I think that's 3 decimal places. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Yes, I got my answer right. Now, think about this. Here's your answer, what we have right now. This is what we have. We have 3 zeros, a decimal point, a 6, and 0, 0. We want to compare that to this guy up here, right? I have a question for you. There's 3 zeros in front of the decimal point down here, but there's only 2 up here. Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? Sure. It's the same exact thing. So our answers match. That means that this answer is correct. Now, when you go to put that in the computer, make sure you know that you should just put a 0. 1 0 comes before decimal points, not 2. Okay, not a second one, 0.025. And now that you checked it, you can walk away knowing, oh my gosh, I did everything I could possibly do to get this right, and you did. Here we go, our final one, 0.462 divided by 0.4. Step 1, you are not allowed to have decimals out here, bad. Where can we put the decimal so it can go away? Right at the end there. So now we have 4. Don't put that decimal at the end. Okay, and since we moved it one place to the right, on the divisor, we got to do the same thing over here in the dividend. Move it one place to the right. So what is our new problem going to be in here? It's going to be a 0. Then we'll have a 4. And we'll have a decimal point, 6, 2. Now, before you leave, what's that first step you have to do when you have a decimal point in here? You have to make it go up here, too. All right, here we go. So 4 into 0 doesn't go, so that's 0. 4 into 0, 4. Oh, that goes in one time. So sing your song, can't go wrong. Divide, put your answer up. Multiply, put your answer down. Subtract, put your answer down. That's 0. And then bring another number down. That's 6. Great. Now, how many 4s are in 6? Divide, put your answer up. That's 1. Multiply, put your answer down. Subtract, put your answer down. That's 2. And then bring another number down. There's my arrows. Oh, I love those arrows. 4 into 22. Divide, put your answer up. Multiply, put your answer down. Subtract, put your answer down. That's 2 again. And then bring another number down. But there's not another number down. We can't have a remainder. Our other number is going to be another 0. And then bring another number down. There we go. Boom. Look at those arrows. They can really help you out. Now, continue. Divide, put your answer up. Multiply, put your answer down. Subtract, put your answer down. We're at end. Yay. So our answer is 1.155. Now we should check it, correct? Good. So with the big G, this number times this number plus any remainder had better equal this number, or our answer is wrong. Okay, now I'm going to check it over here on the right. Notice I put a 0 in front of the 1 because that's the way it is like this for now. We'll remove that later on. Let's just stick to one thing. So here we go. 4 times 5 is 20. Get out my green pen this time. That's 2, and that's a 0. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. That's 4, that's 2, that's 6. That's 4, and that's 0. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't put the number of decimal places there are as a reminder down here, didn't I? There's 3 decimal places that should be in the answer. So now I get to put my decimal place back in. There it is, right there. Does this match up with this? 04.620. It sure does. That means my answer is correct. Woo! And there it is. Now, wait a second. You would not put this in the computer or write this down as your final answer, even if it were on paper. Why? What's wrong with it? We can't be having zeros in front of whole number. No. So you just put 1.155, and I wonder how you say that. Let's see. 1 and 155. What place is the last one in? The thousandths. Hope this helps.